Jai Shri Krishna. So today is Monday and today is what, June 15, 2026, right? Yeah. And moon is in Gemini, right? In Ardra Nakshatra, and moon is going towards Mercury with conjunction. And it's just coming out of the Amavasya. Okay. So today I'm going to be talking about moon in Ardra Nakshatra, and it's going to be part 2. So watch moon in Ardra Nakshatra part 1, and if you have moon in Gemini, Mithuna Rashi in Ardra Nakshatra, this is your video. This is part 2. Watch part 1 and then come to part 2. Yeah. All right. Before we start, usual bells and whistles, right? Do like the video if you really like it. Yeah, and do click the bell button, notification button, subscription button, so that you are up to date on the latest and greatest videos I publish. Please share your comments and feedback as well. I know many of you have already shared, so I really appreciate that. Yeah, and it would help all of us, including myself. And the last one is weekly Wednesday, 7:20 p.m. Central Time. I teach sessions in Clubhouse, free sessions on Vedic Astrology. So if you're interested, do join. Yeah, and you have to download the app, called the Clubhouse, in iOS or Android. It's free, and then you have to enroll in Vedic Astrology Club, which is also free. Yeah, and then once you're done, you can join live sessions, and there's recordings close to 4+ years in Clubhouse, which I've been teaching on Vedic Astrology. Saptarishis, all of the things are there about Vedas and Puranas. Okay. All right. So today we will continue for Moon in Ardra Nakshatra part 2. All right. So again, right, approximately end of 2004, 2005 would have been bad if you would have been born in the 80s or 90s or much earlier. Yeah, definitely would have been bad. Please share this in the comment section. Okay, that would be a validation. Yeah, 2004, 2005, end of 2004, 2005, beginning. Yeah. All right. Next is, this is Rahu's nakshatra, very powerful. And this is a nakshatra where there is a lot of dignification, not only just because of Mercury, but Lord Shiva. In Tamil, we call it as Tiruvadari nakshatra, Tiruvadarai. Tiru is a title, and only 2 nakshatra gets it. One is in Shravana nakshatra, Tiruvonam, and this is Ardra, Tiruvadarai. So Ardra and Shravana, there is a very strong connection in a way, because Tiruvonam, Shravana is associated with Vishnu, and this is with Shiva. Yeah, this is very strong Rahu nakshatra. Rahu's Mulatrikona is Swati, even though there was a misconception about Satabhisha, which is not. The other 2 nakshatras, Rahu owns Ardra, Swati, and Satabhisha. All right, okay. If you're born with moon in Ardra nakshatra, right, there will be sudden life-changing events in your life. So do watch out for it. It is expected. And I'll also explain why it is. Okay. The deity is Lord Rudra. Okay. And we also know, as per the so-called 33 Vedic gods, there are 11 Rudras there. Okay. All right. Rudra, who is like, we also call Shiva, right? He is of self-sacrificing nature. He sacrificed himself and his whole thing for the entire world. Okay, he keeps on giving boons to all the asuras and the demons, and he protects everybody. So I have already published a video on why Lord Shiva is different, right? And why he always protects the asuras. Watch that video. Yeah, watch that video. Okay. Now, Lord Shiva, as I explained, who is the deity here, the Vedic deity, Hindu deity, everything is Lord Shiva. Okay. And because he's also self-sacrificing, right? But he's also got like a little bit of that anger. Okay. The roar you will see. Think about the thunderstorm in the clouds. You get the roar. Okay. The reason is also that it is not only the energy of destruction, but it's also the destruction for a new cycle to begin. Only when the old one is finished, the new one can start. Think about this. You have house, a limited space. As you grow old, right, your clothes become also old. You worn them. So what do? You give old clothes and bring new clothes, so that you use that in the closet, because the space is limited, right? You just cannot keep on buying it, right? Because you don't have the space. Even if you're a moon in Rohini Nakshatra, which I get it, right? Because they usually go for shopping, right? And not only domestic shopping, everywhere overseas and all, but your space is limited. Same thing with moon in Mrigashira also. All the fancy items, right? The shopping. Watch the moon in Rohini part 3 I've done. You will know why I'm saying this. Okay, coming back, the new cycle has to begin. That's the most important thing. So old things go, new things come in a way. So old yuga finishes, new yuga starts, right? Something like that. Understand? The destruction is an evolution process, but there is also some suffering associated with this nakshatra. Think about all the natural calamities and disasters, which is part of a transformation. Cyclone, earthquake, tsunami, wildfire, right? We've been seeing a lot of forest fire in California, right? Then tsunami, I said, last year we also had tsunami in Hawaii. Then anything with war, right? We are having the Middle East war right now as we speak, right? I hope everything goes well for them. It is not only affecting the Middle East and the whole people living over there, all our friends and families, but it's also affecting the whole world economy. And wars are never good. Pandemic, COVID, we just got out of a pandemic. It's just less than 4 years. Take my word, between 2030, February to June, right? I've already predicted for the last 4 years the same thing. I'm saying February to June, something big is coming. It can be a pandemic or a war. 2030, February to June. I will accept. I will say that I'm not a mundane astrologer, but something tells me with the combinations what I'm seeing between 2030, February to June. So mark your calendar on that. Okay, all right. COVID, right? I would have never thought I would see something like a COVID in my lifetime. I never knew what it is. I've read about bubonic plague and all the plagues I've read, but I've never, thought I would see one. Think about the Wuhan wet market, killing of the animals and the plague coming out, right? That is also part of, in a way, part of the Ardra Nakshatra energy. Anything killing, right? Atom bomb in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, August 6, 1945 and August 9, 1945. Think about all of the destructive energy. That is all Ardra Nakshatra. Think about old civilizations, which continues to extinguish or go away. A new one comes, like the Mayan civilization, right? The Mayan calendar. Think of all those things. The current Middle East war, right? Natural disasters, thunderstorms, right? Cars and accidents. I've also posted a few short videos and shorts today as well, interestingly, about thunderstorms, which I got. Snow thunderstorm, couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. And just last week, I also had a thunderstorm here. You should see those pictures as well in the shorts. And you will see that how Mercury is standing alone, right? Standing alone, solid. That is the power of the divine nature. It is interesting also Mercury is coming because moon is in Ardra, which is in Mercury Rashi in a way. And you can also see the white and green as well. Yeah, okay. Car accidents, train accidents, flight accidents, all associated with Ardra in a way, destructive energy, right? Even an individual loss of reputation, Ardra is connected, right? But you see moon in Ardra Nakshatra people, they'll be extremely persistent and perseverant, both for achieving the final purpose. They will have some big aim in their life, one big aim or two big aims in their life. They won't keep quiet until they achieve, which will take them to the highest level. Think of Mount Kailash at the highest level, even though it is not as tall and highest level as Mount Everest, but you still cannot climb Mount Kailash, right? It's not possible. Because Mount Kailash is where Shiva and Parvati is. That is why I'm saying Mount Kailash, yeah? Go check out online on Mount Kailash. I think there's one person by name Milrapa who would have tried to climb. Otherwise, it's not possible. Okay. The symbol is a teardrop. So there is always some kind of, tears coming out, some kind of dullness, and some kind of, dissatisfaction. Yeah. Okay. The Moon and Ardra people would want to roam freely, right? They love forest, they love camps. It's all because of outdoor camps. It's all because of Lord Shiva, right? They love wildlife, they love snakes. So interestingly, I had predicted about somebody who has got Moon in Ardra, and it's a very small child. So there was a museum party, and I predicted that the child with Moon in Ardra would pick exactly a snake among all the animals to kind of have a discussion in the museum. And before 4 days, and I told the parents to keep their mouth shut. Let's see what the child picks up. And exactly the child picked the snake to discuss. Is it a surprise? No. Is it a coincidence? No. Right? Because it's a serpent, because Shiva always has a snake around him. The snake is Vasuki, with Vishnu is Seshanag. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. People with Moon in Ardra, they like travel, but they want to come back home quickly because of a dual Rashi sign here. It is not in a way a movable or a fixed, but a dual Rashi sign. But Ardra Nakshatra is not dual, but it's sitting in a dual Rashi. And Mercury is dual. The depositor Rashi Lord is dual. They like to travel, they like to explore new places, but they want to come back home because they love the home. They also like what is called the me time. All nakshatras sitting in Mercury Rashi, right? Mercury ME, they like what is called me time, ME time. Talk to all the people who got Moon in Virgo, Moon or Moon Rashi in Gemini. They like the me time. ME, me, Mercury, ME, right? So Punarvasu, ask the Punarvasu people with Gemini Rashi, Ardra, Mrigashira, Gemini Rashi. Same thing, come to Hasta Nakshatra, Uttara Falguni, and Chitra Nakshatra, all in Kanya Rashi. They will tell you that, right? Me time, ME, and it's all Mercury Rashi Nakshatras. Yeah, and ME. Please share that in the comment. It'll be interesting about the me time as well. Either way, if you watch this video or if you know about your friends who have Moon in Gemini or Moon in Virgo, they would love the me time. Okay. So now coming back, right? They like travel. They want to explore new places. They like places like mountains, camps, forest, etc. Think about all the places where Lord Shiva resides, even close to his graveyard or cemetery, right? They will find something interesting there. Okay. The Samudra Manthan story becomes a very important story, okay, between the Devas and the Asuras, right, for the Amrit. Even though Vasuki snake was used, Mount Mandara mountain was used, and then Kurma, right, Kurma was used as the base, Vishnu comes. But the most important thing is when Vasuki was used as a rope, right, with Mount Mandara, right, as a turning rod, nobody expected the poison to come out. And when the poison came, somebody had to take the poison, right? So eventually Lord Shiva took the poison. In case this is something you guys should know, or if any Abrahamic religion people are watching this, especially from people from Christianity, or when you know about this, they will tell you the so-called like a bookish story, right, about Jesus Christ or whatever it is, right? Oh, he took the sins and he had to die. Lord Shiva took the poison here and he didn't die. He's living, he didn't die. Go try climb Mount Kailash and see if you can do it. You cannot, right? So, Jesus died. That's the fact, by taking the sins. But Lord Shiva took all the poison here, Alahala poison, which came out. So this is something you want to know when you encounter from people, from missionaries or your Christian friends telling all these stories as well. Yeah, like from a comic book. But that's the fact. Yeah. Okay. Coming back, He took the poison and Parvati, catches the neck, and all the poison stays here. That's why it's called Nilakanta. And the poison is coming from the snake, so he becomes blue completely, right? It's painful in a way. That is why this nakshatra energy has got the self-sacrificing energy. There is some pain they have to undergo, but they will evolve after the pain. Same thing, Shiva energy is also seen in Ashwatthama, who is born to Drona and Kripi, right? Kripacharya's sister. And Ashwatthama could never be killed. Like again, Karna, Bhishma, right? Drona, right? All of them. And he had the third eye like a jewel, money, which was used by Lord Krishna to revive, Parikshit from Uttara's womb, which is Abhimanyu's wife, right? So that is very important. Again, that energy of Rudra is here in Ashwatthama. He's still a Chiranjeevi as well. So he's still not, he still undergo the death process. He's still alive, right? Same thing, Shukracharya. How Shiva swallowed Shukracharya and Shukracharya came out. In a way, Shukracharya is also a Chiranjeevi. Parashurama is also a Chiranjeevi, right? And Shukracharya was known to be an ardent devotee of Lord Shiva in a way. So in a way, if you see, the so-called energy where you see of Lord Shiva and Ashwatthama, and the same thing you also see with Durvasa, right? So Durvasa was born in a way to Atri and Anusuya, and the Trinity energy was used, and Brahma's energy was used for Soma, Vishnu's energy for Dattatreya, and Shiva's energy for Durvasa. And you see Durvasa gets, the anger and always giving curses and stuff, right? Durvasa was supposed to curse. He actually cursed Indra for what he did wrong, right? For the garland which was given by Adi Parashakti to the Apsara. And the garland was rejected by him by taking a, stag which he had in his hand along with when he was sitting in Airavata elephant, right? So it was a curse from Durvasa again. So that is also energy of Lord Shiva. So moon in Ardra Nakshatra people, watch out for this. There is late marriage, which is good. When I say late marriage, after 30. Okay, Shiva himself had a late marriage. He refused to marry. Eventually, Manmadan and Rati was invoked for him to get the marriage energy, right? For him to get that so-called karma energy in a way. So he, he himself got late marriage. So just be aware of that. When moon in Ardra, late marriage, right? But after marriage, moon in Ardra Nakshatra people, your life will change significantly for the good. Why? Because of Parvati coming into the Shiva's picture, right? There was a change. More than Parvati, I should say Dakshayini or Sati, right? There is a change. And in a way, Lord Shiva doesn't get very well along with his father-in-law Daksha. So you'll always have an issues with your father-in-law. That is also something to watch out for. So watch out for it because of Daksha. So in terms of professions, in terms of stuff which will be helpful for Moon and Ardra Nakshatra people is anything with research, R&D, medicine, hospitals, morgues, anything with old demolished buildings, right? And I'll say that in a minute what it means, using destructive energy. Herbs, plants, chemotherapy, technicians, right? Working on medicine, R&D, stem cell therapies, chemos, scientists, climate predictions, right? Electrical engineering, geography, or geology. Okay? Or even anything using wind, right? Wind energy, anything with wind, windmills, anything with going to the space, right? Any of those things as well, because it's a wind energy here. And Gemini itself is a wind Rashi. Ardra is also a wind energy. Rahu is also associated with wind energy. Anything with windmills, yeah? Okay. This nakshatra is a very good nakshatra when you use a muhurta for destroying your old house and rebuilding your new house. So this nakshatra is an excellent destroy your old house and build a new house, provided moon is with strength without Saturn, Rahu or Ketu conjunct at that time. Yeah? Okay. As I already said in part, I think the earlier part, I would have said luck would change for you exactly at 35, 35, 45, and 54. 35, 45, and 54. Okay. Remember this, I also mentioned about the Panchabhutas, right? In the Panchabhutas, you definitely want to go to the Thillai Chidambaram Nataraja temple, like Thillai Nataraja temple in Chidambaram. This has got the energy of the wind among the Panchabhutas. Okay, go when moon is in Ardra Nakshatra with strength. This is also a Nakshatra temple. Again, guys, Rahu is not a dual energy planet, but Rahu will behave like a little bit of Mercury in this way. Rahu already has a strong connection with Mercury because Mercury is the depositor for Rahu, right? Right, because I say Rahu because moon's nakshatra, Ardra, this is Rahu's nakshatra. So a lot of things may happen second time well. So first time doesn't work, second time will work. Remember this. All right. And of course, Lord Shiva. Pray to Shiva and Parvati. Yeah. I hope this video was helpful. I will see you guys soon in another video. Right. And the shloka is also Om Rudraya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha. Yeah, and I think I already gave all the Saptarishi information. I mean, it's just one time because it's a very bright star. Okay, Pulaha is the Saptarishi, Shama, Gati, right? And I gave the thing, you can do also Rudra Japa, Rudra Abhishekam also. And you should go to the Somnath Jyotirlinga. Somnath Jyotirlinga and Nageshwar Jyotirlinga because in Gemini. Yeah, Somnath on a Monday, Nageshwar on a Wednesday or Saturday, or Somnath Jyotirlinga on any of the moon nakshatras. Nageshwar anytime when moon is in any one of the Rahu nakshatras also. Yeah, so please watch all my Jyotirlinga videos as well. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I will see you guys soon in another video. And Jai Shri Krishna. Om Rudraya Namaha, Om Shivaya Namaha, Om Parvatiye Namaha. Thank you.